Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dave LeClaire, gaming editor for MakeUseOf.com, and welcome to the episode of Video Game Hub where we take a look back at the last week of the world of video games and the episode where we give you guys a Kontrol Freek. That's right, you get to win some free stuff just for watching this awesome show that you would already watch anyway because it is that freaking cool. So sit tight, kick back, relax, and let's jump back in and look at the news from the last week. Today, we are going to talk about Unreal Tournament. Epic Games has announced that a new version of Unreal is coming soon. Now, this version is going to be very different from Unreal Tournament 3, which followed a traditional game development cycle. They made the game, they sold it to players. The new Unreal Tournament will be completely free, and they are quick to point out that it is not free to play, but free, meaning that you will be able to download the game and play it as much as you want. So how do they plan to make money on said game? Well, actually what they're going to be doing is very interesting. The game is going to be moddable, which has always been a huge part of Unreal, was the mods. But in this case, the people who make the mods will be able to sell them to players with Epic taking a cut. So it's kind of like the Dota model, where Dota, they have the people make the different hats and cosmetics for the heroes. They sell them, Valve takes a cut, boom, Valve makes money. Of course, Valve they sell them on the store, kind of like this will be. So it's a very interesting model. It's definitely different for a shooter. We've seen it work very well in Dota, where Valve has a ton of, their fans have a lot of love for them, so they're willing to spend money. I know I've spent money on Dota stuff just because it's like, well, I play this game a lot, I feel like I owe Valve some money, so I buy some stuff. So basically, the way this is going to work is they're going to have a small team of Unreal Tournament veterans that are going to be working on the game, and then from there, it will all be worked on with people who either have Unreal Engine 4 developers or they're UT fans who know how to code. So it's basically like crowdsourced game development. Of course, the game will hold true to its roots of being a competitive first-person shooter, which makes sense. That's going to be pretty standard. With the way esports are rising now, Unreal may be able to capture some of that in the form of a shooter. Obviously, Call of Duty is the king of shooters when it comes to that type of game, but they may be able to grab some of that. They did say that the marketplace will be created eventually, and that it will be months before gamers can actually play the new Unreal Tournament. So it's going to be, we're going to have to be patient. We're not going to be playing this next week because they've actually just started writing the code for the game today. So this is a fresh game being built from scratch with this model in mind, and it could be very interesting to see how this develops. I mean, if this ends up being a big thing, we could see more shooters come out that are just straight up free, and that's a good thing for everybody. I mean, who doesn't want to play a game for free? And if you like the game and you want to spend some money, you have the option to do that too. So this was just announced today. We're going to have to wait a little while before we actually get our hands on it and we get to play it. But it's definitely exciting news, and it's good to see that Unreal Tournament name's still living on, and that makes me happy as someone who used to play that game back in the day. And even if you've never played it, it's a chance to get a cool new shooter for free, and that's awesome. Today, we are going to talk about Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. It's the expansion for Diablo 3 that's already available on PC, but now it is coming to consoles. It is coming in the form of the Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Pure evilness just raining down upon your video game consoles. So what's the Ultimate Evil Edition? Well, it's everything that you got in Reaper of Souls and the original Diablo 3 games. So it's basically like one of those Game of the Year editions. But it's coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. It's going to be $60 on next-gen consoles and $40 on previous-gen consoles. You'll be able to import your character, but it will have to be within the same console family, so you won't be able to have the PlayStation 3 version and buy the Xbox One version and cross your character over. It has to be from PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 to Xbox One. So you're gonna have to stick within the same family, or just get it for the PS3 for 40 bucks if you want to keep playing it on the same console and just import your character to the new game from there. It will have 4-player couch co-op and 4-player online co-op. Couch co-op is obviously a staple of the console game because generally people tend to have their consoles in the living room where it's reasonable to be able to play, a game like that with people in the same room. It's coming on August 19th, so it's really not that far away. So if you've been waiting to get your hands on the new Diablo 3 content and you only have a console and not a PC to play it on, you really don't have to wait too much longer. It's going to be here right around the corner. It's also going to have a new apprentice mode, which basically allows low-level players to get in and play with high-level players and still have fun. So if you have a friend who's just starting the game and you already have a level 60 with 100, everything, you're maxed out, you're ready to go, you have epic gear, you can bring them in, let them play with you, and they'll be able to play, they'll scale the character up to the same level. Kind of like how Guild Wars 2 handles their content, where you can kind of jump in with high-level people and bounce around like that. Sounds awesome. If you're a fan of Diablo 3 and you've been waiting to get that new content on your console because you don't have a PC, you don't have to wait much longer. Get those 4 controllers ready, get your friends over, do some looting, do some killing, have some fun. Looks like it's gonna be good. All right guys, it is time for my favorite part of the show, and it is the part of the show where I get to give you guys some cool stuff. This week we have another Kontrol Freek to give away. I have the FPS Phantom for Xbox One, as the PS4 one was claimed by last week's winner, which is Lou Lag. Hopefully I am saying that right. I'll hit you with a message on YouTube, so make sure to check your inbox and send me your address to claim your Kontrol Freek. I'll mail it to you and it'll be yours. So everyone take a look at the picture that you're seeing on the screen right now. Tell me which game it is from, and the Kontrol Freek Phantom Xbox One shooter stick will be yours. We've just heard that EA is taking down the online servers for a bunch of their older games, which makes sense because the games are not being played as much. But for people who played them, it definitely kind of sucks, because what if you still want to go back and play it? Or what if you just own the game and you may want to go back and play it at some point? Now you can't. You're out of luck because they're going offline. EA has said that these games will be taken down by the end of June, so you do still have a little bit of time to get in there and experience your games if there's something that you want to go back and play one last time before it shuts down. The announcement that they're shutting down may cause a resurgence in new people wanting to jump in and play the game, so even if you couldn't find people in there playing it before, you might be able to get somebody in there now, which is always a good thing. Some of the games taken down include some of the older Battlefield games like Battlefield 1942, Star Wars Battlefront's going down, plenty of other ones. You can see the list scrolling by on the screen right now, so you can read the games for yourself. I'll also include a link in the description that will tell you all the games in case you missed some as they scroll by. But unfortunately, if you are a fan of one of these games and you want to play it online, you only have about a month and a half left to do so, and then the game will no longer be on the internet and no longer playable. Now, the single player will work for most of the games, but in a game like Battlefield, single player is not a thing, so the game will basically just be dead. So RIP to these games. If you were a fan, I'm sorry to hear that. But hey, there's plenty of new games out there to play, new games coming out all the time, so jump on and play those. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Video Game Hub. As always, I am Dave LeClaire, gaming editor for MakeUseOf.com. Thanks again for taking the time to hang out with me. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, as that would help me out a lot. And make sure to click the big subscribe button that you see on the screen so that you never miss another episode of Video Game Hub and all the other content that we put out here at MakeUseOf.com. And I will see you guys next time.